Thank you for loving me. Thank you for walking with me. Thank you for standing when you didn't have to. A lot of times it's hard to remember how supported I really am as I support those who I love. And I want to tell you thank you. I do. I want to say thank you to all of my white allies all over the world who share my word, who amplify my voice, who get heat from both sides. You get it from your people, you get it from my people, you get it from everybody. And you still walk with me. You still walk with me, even when I'm mad with you, and my heat and my hurt comes out of my face. And you hear me out, and you grant me a grace that cannot be earned. So I want to make sure I let you know that I love you and I appreciate you and I thank you for being part of a long tradition of allies who have fought for me and mine since we got to this country. And it's been an imperfect love. It's been an imperfect love. And I don't think that's bad, quite frankly. I think it's honest. And as I fulfill that which is mine to fulfill, as I do what I call God's work, as I be brave in service of healing history and deal with the slings and arrows that come with that. I'm already surrendered. I'm good with that. But I want you to know that when you send me love notes, when you speak up on my behalf in my absence, when you deal with the heat of the hurt of my own people, who in the frustration of not being heard for literally lifetimes, okay? You don't take your love away. And that is a beautiful gift to give any human being. Because when a person's hurt, I think that's when they need the most grace. I think that's when it matters the most. I think it means more when you're down than when you're up. And so I'm not going to talk you long. I'm not going to, no, there's nothing wrong. I'm just very present to being loved and supported. Okay? Historically, literally from abolition to sit-ins to freedom rides to marches to peaceful protest. One of the things that broke my heart in 2020 that I was hurt by in a beautiful way, but then I got mad about was there was this, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a wall of white women who made their bodies into shields to protect us, to protect Black bodies during all the protests with George Floyd. I had never seen, I have never, and haven't, and had never seen anything like that in my life, in my lifetime. Okay? And something in me got healed, right? It was like, whoa, they would put their bodies on the line for me. And that changed me. That did something. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like I'd never seen that kind of, I don't even know what to call it. Just love, man. That's all I could think I could call it. And then I got mad at you because you voted differently than I. And I was like, how could you love me but condone that? You know? And thank God for grace, right? Because all of my white friends have had to hear my mouth about this. Okay? And even though, and so over time, you keep loving on me, 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 you keep loving on me. And I'm understanding that you can love me and we not agree on everything, you know? So I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this. I just wanted to make sure I let you know that I know that you got my back. Okay? And I mean, you've had it for generations. I'm not saying it like me as an individual. I'm saying it like me as a people with a platform. I'm saying thank you. It's easy to forget in the heat of the moment and when the hurt talks that that you've always been there. And I'm only talking about my allies. I'm only talking about my peoples. I'm only talking about my friends, the people who roll Jim Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about white people and people of all races all over the world support me. I don't know if y'all realize how many. I don't think you couldn't possibly know. You couldn't possibly know, right? So I just want to make sure I honor you by telling you that I love you. I love you, sis. I love you, bro. And I thank you. And I thank your ancestors who hid our people in the Underground Railroad, who made sure we had food and shoes to walk after Reconstruction, who gave us credit to be able to buy food, to buy seeds, to plant our own food. I want you to know I know. And I want you to know I notice. So don't ever feel like you have to tell me, because I know who you are. Okay? I know that you've been with me. That is why I love you. I would never leave you out. And there's a lot of people who look like you who hate me. And they can do whatever they want to. I'm not talking to the haters. I'm talking to my friends. I'm talking to my allies all over the world who share my word, who stand up for me, who fight other racists and extremists on my behalf so I don't have to deal with it, who forgive me and mine for our heat and our hurt because it comes out, and who doesn't get defensive because we're actually expressing what's been suppressed for decades and centuries. Okay, and there is a level of expression of the heat that has to happen to heal. That has to happen. But when you stand with me and you hear my word and you let my truth be just as valid as yours without having to condone or without having to, I don't know, parallel structure it, but just receiving the information, receiving the hurt that we inherited, there is no way you can explain it because it's a lived experience. It's not an intellectual debate. It's something in my bones. I know what it feels like. Okay? And so when you can be with that and not have that mean something about you, I'm never coming down on you if you love me. I'm dealing with historical structures that are so invisible that they bamboozled everybody. You see what I'm saying? So I need you to be very clear. I love you, ally. Okay? You, I love. I will never hate you. I'm never going to attack you. I have no interest. Hate is against my religion. Okay? Real talk is not. Truth is not. Heat is not. I'm going to always speak. You know me. I'm going to stop. And you're lucky I'm not cursing today. I got some Christians who are praying for me. It's hilarious. There are some Christians who are praying for my mouth. Thank you, my Christian family. Great. My point is, I just needed you to know, and I needed the world to know, that I know that I'm loved. There are not that many women in the world who are as loved as I am, who are supported as I am by such a diverse group. I mean, literally, my group is so diverse, and I just didn't want you to not know that you matter to me. And I know I talk to black women. Black men get grumpy a little bit sometimes. They feel like, what about me? I'm like, baby, I got you, but I got to focus on what God feel like God told me to do. And I got to do it real and raw. I got to do it like a street girl because I'm a street girl. I'm not a church-based Christian. I am a street urchin. And me and God are good. okay, who just happens to have 4 degrees, who just happens to have a PhD from Stanford, who just happens to be a beast at manifesting money. That's the byproduct of being anointed. But that doesn't mean I don't need you. That doesn't mean I don't respect you. It doesn't mean I don't appreciate you. And it doesn't mean I don't see you. I do. So let the record show that I just appreciate you and love you wholly. Okay? Please don't forget that. And I'm bound to say something that's going to offend you. I am. I promise you. I'm probably going to curse some people out. Pretty confident I'm going to doing that. I promise. Pretty certain I'm going to. Okay? But know that no matter how I bring it, it's always with the highest intention of having a world that works for everyone. Okay? And that means I have to pull back the covers of all the stuff that is ugly, that we have never been taught, that has not been addressed. And that will make white people look bad. Well, in truth, it'll make them look human, okay, once we get past the pride. And I'm not revealing it because I'm mad about the past. That's not my point. I'm revealing it so that we can build on a foundation that's rooted in truth, not based on lies. You can't build something on false ground. So we have to know what's happened so we know we're fighting the right fight. Okay? So it's not about, I'm not tripping off of, you know, hanging in the past. No, I'm learning my past. They didn't teach this to us in school. They're fighting teaching it now. And given that they won't let us teach it, I'm going to teach it. I was a tenured professor before I became an entrepreneur. Okay? So that's fine. But I will speak it. And I will tell the truth. And there'll be times when I'm angry. And God bless your heart, because I'm going to say what I need to say. But that doesn't mean I don't love you. And that does not mean I don't appreciate you. And that does not mean I'm pushing you away from me. That's not what I'm doing. I'm speaking truth. And the world is just not used to a black, queer identified woman who is brilliant and successful speaking her truth with no need from anybody. Not in terms of like validation or resource like that. I don't need that. You see what I'm saying? So I have a freedom that a lot of people don't. But it won't make any difference if I don't have you to support me. If you take away abolitionists from the Underground Railroad, we wouldn't be alive. And I know that. If you take away all of the white teenagers who did the sit-ins at the lunch counters, I wouldn't be able to vote. I wouldn't have any equal rights. So I'm not stupid. I'm like, really, please don't hold me as one-dimensional. I intersect on a lot of ways. You see what I'm saying? So I'm never talking down to you. I may insult your righteousness. You see what I'm saying? I insult everybody. I'm an equal opportunity insulter when it comes to truth because the truth is insulting. It's supposed to be. That's why people don't like it. And my job is to speak truth. You know this. But I want you to understand that it's not an attack. It's a revelation. They're not the same. Me revealing the stuff that hasn't been told around Black history, systemic racism, systems of oppression, and white extremists and domestic terrorism, there's no class on that. We lived through that. And we have to build from that. I'm not judging the past. America's unfinished. I'm not mad about it. I'm committed to something else. But I can't get there if I don't know what I'm dealing with. And I cannot empower that which is mine to empower if all they have is falsehoods about who they are. As a people, and I'm not suggesting it's different. I'm not saying we're the only group that suffered. Of course not. That's childish. Okay. I don't know what it's like to be a Jewish person or even an African who came out of apartheid, and I refuse to speak on it because it's inappropriate. I can't speak on indigenous trauma. I can't, but I can speak on slavery. I can speak on cultural trauma because that's my area of study. That's what I know. So I'm never talking off the top of my dome. I'm talking because I dropped 30 years on this. Okay. And in the last years, I've been able to build a platform to reach the world. And I have. But I haven't done it because you've empowered my voice. And you do it quietly. You do it quietly. You never tell. You just share and you send me love and you speak up on my behalf and you do the research and you send me the research so I'm speaking with knowledge. And these I want you to be very and I want my people to know these are white people helping me help us. They're making sure I get the videos. They're making sure I get the data. They're making sure I that the stuff that's been hidden that I know about it. Okay, so that I can empower us. But us doesn't mean alone. You know what I'm saying? I put black women first, but not alone. The reason I put black women first is because we don't know what it feels like to be first. We've always been put at the bottom of every kind of list. And we've always had to fight our way. For you to know what it's for, like when Nana took me in off the streets, when I was eating out of trash cans, sleeping in urine and beer, she treated me like I mattered, that I wasn't just a throwaway, even though my mama put me out. And so I know what it's like. I know that love can heal. And I know that in order for it to heal, you got to go through the heat. You got to go through the hurt. You got to go through the grieving. You got to put some air on it so it can breathe, so it can heal. And if I don't rip the band-aid off of the pretense called equality, then we're going to keep fighting for something that can't be created in the context in which it was born. So please remember, I'm never attacking you. And I'm passionate as fuck. And I don't back down. But God built me that way. God put me on the streets for that. I was street trained for that. You can't intimidate me. I've done the streets. That's you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm not a church girl for all my Christians, and I love you for praying for me. I'm a street girl. There's more street in me than Stanford. But above all else, I'm God's. I'm God's favorite. God kept me alive when he killed Jesus. I'm God's favorite. And you can deal with that in whatever way you need to. Okay? So that's my word. I just want to make sure I spoke it. Make sure you know you're loved, that you're appreciated, that you're valued, that you're admired, that you're needed and you're wanted here, that you're wanted with me. I am not mad at you. I think being mad is a waste of energy. I would rather take my frustration and make money and make a difference and move forward. I don't mind that. You see what I'm saying? Honey, I think frustration and anger is fuel for the future. And I'm here for all of it. But I cannot do it without you. And we never have. And we never will. So don't get offended when I say it's in your self-interest. Your self-interest doesn't have to be negative. Your self-interest doesn't have to be bad. Your self-interest could be being the kind of person that you're proud of. Your self-interest could be being the kind of person that your children admire and look up to. That's not bad. That's not inherently bad. I have a real self-interest in making sure black women have their own money and that they know that they are God wrapped in flesh. I have a real powerful commitment that black men know that they are absolutely magnificent and that they deserve nothing but the best in the world. See, I have a self-interest in that, and my life is organized around that. So do not take my words and turn them ugly because you don't like my tone. A lot of people don't like my tone. I'm okay with that, but not from you. Okay? You are my friend. You are my ally. And you have been with us all the way. Even on the plantation, if people do research, there were different kind of structures in place for protecting that white people did that never gets talked about, that never gets revealed because it doesn't go with the narrative of good and bad. I'm a theorist. I've read the stuff. So I know who you are. And I know, and I be clear, I know the bad stuff too, but that's not this conversation. Okay? Okay? So no more post about like, what about me's? Okay? Because I got you and I love you and I'm not leaving you out. I'm just protecting the space such that when people engage, they engage in a dignified way. We learn when we talk, but not attack. I'm not here to debate. I'm here to discuss. And I have to model that by telling my truth with no judgment and in the full honesty of who I am. Okay? So please don't ever feel like I'm coming down on you. I'm coming down on systems. I'm coming down on some things, but not individual people. It can't be done. You are not accountable for a system. You were tricked too. You were lied to too. You just took on waking up. I just have to get more. Most people never even hear about all the miseducation that white people have been generationally taught. No one hears about that because it's not written in the books. We don't talk about it. And that is why my platform is so valuable to the world, because we're having honest, authentic conversations about the stuff that we don't get to talk about together. Okay? Okay, so please remember that when I break, when I come for you. Remember that. Remember that my passion purifies. It's designed to burn away all the bullshit. It's designed to. Okay? And once you're on the other side of it, there's refinement. It's a fire that purifies. You don't know this, and I'll say this and I'll stop. I have a tattoo. Okay? Maybe too much information, but I'll tell you anyway. I have a tattoo. It's a dragon tattoo. It covers 3/4 of my body, from my rib to my mid thigh. You can see it from the front, the side, and the back. It's glorious. Okay? And I got that when I reclaimed my body. My body has been hurt, and it hasn't been honored. And it took me 3 decades to reclaim my body and my voice. All right? And I wrote a piece that says, when a woman speaks her truth, she breathes fire. So I breathe fire when I am spitting truth. It is fire, and it's the fire that purifies. So I'm never going to be polite. I have no respect for respectability. I honor my tribe enough to do my best to protect them from the street and me. But when truth comes, it will not come polite. It won't. It will come in heat. I will breathe fire. Okay? Breathing fire doesn't mean I'm attacking you. It means I'm expressing the depth of my passion with every ounce of blood in my bones. That's a self-expression for me, not an attack on you. They're not the same. They're not the same. Me being pro-black does not make me anti-white. They're not connected. They're not. Me loving me and mine does not mean I hate you and yours. They're not connected at all, ever. Ever. I can love mine and not really have any value for what's happening over with saving the whales. And I'm not against the whales, okay? But I'm not doing that with no seals. I got to make sure that my baby girls know that they're precious. I got to get their mamas to stop being mad at their daddies so that we have children who are loved by both parents, even if they're not together. I got work to do. I got some shit to do, okay? So I have no interest in anything that doesn't move the calling forward, which means I have no interest in whiteness. That doesn't mean I don't love you. That just means I don't give my power to trying to make you change. So when you hear me talk to mine about, look, don't try to, that doesn't mean you're bad. That means we don't need to be dependent. That's called independence. It's called self-efficacy. How could that be bad? How? How? Rhetorical question. Rhetorical question. Rhetorical question. Okay? So I just want to make sure I speak that so that you don't get confused. I'm letting you into private conversations. I am opening the door and letting you bear witness and learn and grow while we get clear, while we get healed. Once I'm on my own platform, that's a whole nother thing. But the point is, the reason I didn't do a private group is because I want us to talk. I'm smart as I'm good at this. Okay? So it's not about separatism, it's about healing. And when you learn, you can grow. But because we haven't had a safe space to even exchange ideas without people getting offended or throwing each other under the bus, it never happens. Oh, no, that's not fair. It hasn't happened until now. And that's because you're willing to talk to me. You're willing to engage with me. You're willing to share what I say to the world. You're willing to stand up for me. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't want you to not know that I know this. Okay? I know I'm being redundant. Forgive me, but I just want to make sure I get all of it in so that you don't have to feel weird or left out or anything. Because I'm a street girl. I'm going to say something. I promise I'm going to offend somebody. Probably tomorrow. Okay. But today, I just want you to know that for all my allies in Poland, in Norway, in New Zealand, in Africa, in Australia, in Canada, in Japan, I mean, like, for all of my people, or for all my truth tellers, for all my allies, I love you. I thank God for you. I appreciate you. I respect you. I admire you. And I am truly moved that you would even listen to my word. Okay, let alone share it. Okay, and no, if you and yeah, share this one too, share it, share it, share it. And for all of my people, if you have any people in your life or in your platform that are allies, share this video with them. Share this video with them. Let them know that they're seen and heard and that they're loved for what they do. It's an imperfect love, and some loves are wounded, but that doesn't mean it's invalid. So please make sure you share this video in the spirit of love in which it was built. Okay? Because a lot of times we have people who support us, but they don't know that we notice. You know what I mean? And so it's sometimes just good to take a moment and say thank you. Okay? So for all my truth tellers, please share this video. If you were fed by this word, please share this video. And because I believe sharing is an act of love. We don't have enough conversations about how we love each other. Okay? And then again, imperfect love, grace and mercy matters, but it matters that we acknowledge each other. It makes all the difference in terms of moving forward faster. Okay? So that's it. Ashe, 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 ashe. This is Dr. Venus, your hot mess millionaire. I love you, sis. I love you, bro. I love you, fam. And I love you, allies. And I think my jokes are funny. If you're a fan by this word, please share it. And I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye for now, and share this video.